look what's happening with, again, the Brave New World, the whole Captain America movie right now, because that one right now they're saying is going to bomb. They did some test screenings, but they already had massive reshoots. But I want to talk about that too. But that's a bigger conversation about bombing in our Comic Corner. Come on. And this is where this all kind of ties in, because this movie right here, Captain America, Brave New World right now, 6 years after we had Steve Rogers step down, they greenlit this a long time ago. We had 3 rounds of they did 3 big battle reshoots, like spending hundreds of millions of dollars on this. I mean, they spent $350 million bucks in this project right now. That's insane. $350 million on Captain America, Brave New World because of all the reshoots. Unlike Joker, where they didn't do reshoots, maybe they shouldn't have reshoots, maybe they should have, but Marvel builds all this stuff in. And then they say, well, it's a bomb. Well, you got to meet $350 million bucks, and they don't want to spend $100 million on advertising. Now you got $450 million bucks. They got $500 million just to make your money back. Like, you're going to doom yourself into bombing. This is coming out February 14th, but they actually had a bunch of test screenings for this, and people are just saying, like, it's inessential, it's flat, people are, like, walking out bored. They had 2 different movie showings. People got, like, either a red wristband or a green wristband to go see 2 different cuts, who they like best, and people were walking out being like, this just sucks, there's no point to this. Again, the whole Red Hulk thing apparently is only in the very end. You know, and there's a lot of this stuff where it's just like they spend so much money integrating new characters and trying to make it work. And it's like at the end of the day, they can't even spend money on advertising, Lexi. They can't even do it because they spent $350 million. And now they're already saying off the get-go, it's going to bomb. It's going to bomb. And it's like, it's coming out in February, so let's be real. It's coming out like for Valentine's Day. No one's going to see Brave New World on Valentine's Day. I just don't see it happening.
But has Red Hulk. Isn't that for Valentine's Day?
I'll take you.
Okay, Mark, can you take me?
I'll take you, Brian. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, man, I'm single. I need a date. So, Mark, you think about this. Do you think that this is just can you see people going out to see this movie actually? Or do you think this is just what's been happening with the industry a lot, where it's like we're spending too much money, and so it's almost hard to get the return on investment?
So, yeah, it's kind of that, right? And then not only that, just superhero fatigue in general. You know, people aren't spending money as much anymore. So I could see it technically not making money, but I don't see it actually like bombing. I see it might not make its profit back, or it might do okay or mid, like a lot of Marvel movies, kind of like the Marvels. Like the Marvels didn't do that bad. It just underperformed for its budget. So it technically was classified as like an L. I think it's probably going to be like that.
Yeah, well, that's the problem too. That was like almost. I think that was in the 300 millions too for the Marvels, between their reshoots as well.
Yeah, they made a lot of money, but they just didn't make a lot of profit.
It just makes it almost impossible, and that's why I understand like why they keep hemorrhaging these budgets. Now they should just work with the script from the get-go. You do a lot of writing too, Mark, right? So it's like, don't you think that the problem comes down to the actual words on the page?
Yeah, and then also they're riding the train of they want people to care about the established Marvel Universe, but what people don't care about is like a lot of these characters are essentially side characters in their lives. A lot of people don't care about, Falcon's character. A lot of people don't care about like Black Widow's sister. Like these aren't like the leading roles that people started off with. They don't, they're all great actors, but I don't see them as actually having like any sense of like draw. So it's like we're watching C or B characters carry a movie, and then the only thing that really has going for it is the movies we watched before it to continue the story. And I don't think that's like a good formula for success. I think they should be able to stand on their own.
They should. If the characters aren't that alluring, they're already in a hole by $350 million. It's like you already know your returns is not going to be that great as it is. So then, we're going to shove this word bomb around there more and more and more. And then they're not going to spend any more money on advertising. It does suck they use all these like, because we lost Tony Stark, because we lost, we were changing the whole Avengers dynamic. We have to find these young characters. But like, you can still make people intriguing and interesting, and people make money. Well, I mean, come on, it's writing. Just write good characters, and people will come to see it. And don't spend $350 million bucks on one movie. GR, don't do it. Yep. Right, GR? Do you think that this has a chance to survive at all at that kind of like price tag? Or do you see this being a bomb if people are saying that there's no point to it?
Yeah, I go with Mark. I think it'll do all right, but I'm sorry, that's not Captain America. That's Falcon. That's not Captain America. He can carry the shield and wear the uniform, but he is not Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America.
You think that's what's been hurting this franchise the whole time, GR?
Well, I mean, Mark said best. Extra characters can't carry a movie.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do here.
They got Harrison Ford, though, GR, in this. We got Harrison Ford.
He's a fucking president. He's in the movie for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
The Falcon is there, not Captain America.
Yeah, it's true. I just don't see this doing as well. Again, I just think it's a money thing, and I think you're right. People want to see Captain America. I like Anthony Mackie though, Lexi. I like him. I just think he's done a lot of great roles, right? A lot of great roles. Like, especially lately, I feel like he's blowing up more and more. But do you think that it's a problem with his, like GR saying, like his acting, like his character, or do you think it comes down to the big balloon budgets?
I mean, do you remember when King Kong and Superman Returns came out and they had a budget of like $330 million and $322 million, and they were like, these are the most expensive films ever made in the history of film. And now the average that we dump on a film is $350 million, and then we wonder why these things like bomb and don't make their money back and stuff. It's like, I mean, that was considered such grand expense back in like 2002, 2003. And I mean, I know it was like 20 years ago, but like, you know, really not that far away when you think about like what we were spending for budgets like back in like the 80s and 90s and stuff for films, and like the fact that we had like the ability to make like $1 million films and like, you know, $5 million films and $10 million films.
And it didn't cost us $50 to go to the movies either.
Yeah.
No, and it didn't cost us $25 to, you know, go on a weekday for a matinee. A matinee used to cost me $3.50. As a kid, I used to go to movies all the time with change in my pocket. Like, I mean, that's the thing. I was an avid moviegoer. I stopped going to the movies when they started jacking prices through the roof, and on top of that, with streaming and everything else, like I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it in college. And I'm going to say straight up, I pirated movies all the time in college because I couldn't afford to go when they started raising prices more and more and more. It became expensive for me. So it's just like, you know, it's
way
like
too expensive.
On top of that, well, and then the thing on top of that, like on the piracy thing, not to go off subject, but like I was showing you that thing that I showed you where they're telling you that you're leasing stuff now, like you're just leasing a license instead of owning it with all the streaming stuff. Forget it, just pirate it at that point. If you're not owning something, if you don't own anything, and you are literally,
we do not condone pirating on Kruse Control.
For the right, no, like, you know what I'm saying though with that? Like, if you're just paying for the right to license something, then you're not even owning it. Like, I don't see the point in paying for anything at that point. I'm not paying to license something. Go fuck yourself. I'm not a fucking studio trying to sell things. I'm not looking for licensing rights here. So I'm looking to buy something to watch on my DVD player at home, for fuck's sakes. This is ridiculous. What a world we live in. So it's just like $350 million movies, licensing the movies to watch at home, you know, $500,000 for Avatar. This is dumb. Nobody wants
so much waste of money.
You know
it's a waste of money.
Movies, but I'm like, you know, what's his name? Jordan. I was talking about all the time. And then Jordan Peele goes out and makes a movie for like, you know, less than $10 million, and it kills in the box office, and they make the revenue back. The movie that has made the most money for cost to revenue is the Blair Witch Project, because they only invested $100,000 into that film and then made over $200 million on the returns on it.
Massive. That's a massive return.
Where's your money? Where's your money? If you're only spending chump change on things and you're putting out like, you know, whatever, like, then your returns are better. So to put all this kind of money into things that people are just like, they're already like burned out on all the Marvel stuff. They're already burned out on this shows. I will say that I think that the Captain America show that had the Winter Soldier that introduced us to him as Captain America, it's a good show. I thought it was good. I think Anthony Mackie is a phenomenal actor. I have seen him in other roles. I've seen him in other films. I think he is an incredible talent. I think he deserves all the opportunities. I want to see him do more dramatic acting. His dramatic acting is fantastic. Do you ever see that movie where they have like a drug that's like spice that you smoke and you end up time traveling for 5 minutes in a spot? Anthony Mackie's the star of that film. I had to watch it for my podcast one time. One of the best films I've ever seen. I would have never heard of it if my show hadn't told me to watch it. But like,
that's fascinating.
Oh my God, it was amazing. And he was great in it. And I'm just like, I've seen him do a lot of indie films and a lot of indie roles. And I'm like, I really feel like his career got hurt by entering the Marvel universe in so many ways, because he was never a primary. He was always a secondary character. And then they wanted to kind of slide him into a main role, but he was never built for that. So it's just like, I don't know. And
that's in writing too. It's in the writing. He never was. He was always a side character for a long time. And it's like, now you're making Cap. And everybody wanted Bucky to be Cap.
Character. Hawk was so good. He's good as Hawk. So I don't know. It just feels like you're taking something away from the fans anyway, because he was so good as Hawk. So why take Hawk away? But also, like, was this what was necessary with Captain America? Couldn't we have just retired the standard issue original Avengers and moved on to the new Avengers and moved on to a new team or moved on to whatever? I don't know. I don't know what the answers are to any of this stuff. I think like the answer is that you stagnated your project by having so much of it for 20 years and that you don't know what to do with it anymore. And that the only people who are left to watch this and be interested are fans. And you have to really be dedicated to this, like as a comic. Like Sean is who this is for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sean is. This is definitely for Sean.
David Banner is a fan of this in the chat. Like people who read these comics and have been following this stuff for years are ecstatic about the fact that their content has gone this far. To see anything that you love be taken with lots of money and care and taken that far, it's very exciting. I can say that about anything, whether you're a fan of Harry Potter or this or anything that they have invested.
Great for fans.
8 or more films into and have had budgets of more than $200,000 on each film and have had phenomenal actors behind each one. That's fantastic. We never saw that when we were kids growing up. Never got that in the 80s. Never got that in the 90s. You were lucky to get one of them fuckers, and if it bombed, you were like out the back door. You ain't seen that shit for another 20 years. Like,
nope.
The fact that things bomb nowadays and they still invest in them, I don't even know how they do that, quite frankly. I'm like, I see things bomb all the time. They're like, we're getting a sequel. I'm like, Venom should not have had 3 movies. I'm like,
I love Venom. I love the Venom movies. I'm excited for 3.
Your opinion, though.
But I'm saying, like, but I saw the numbers didn't show me that there was a need for more of them. Like, I heard all kinds of bad things about it. Whether you liked it or not,
they're best still at Sony. That's why.
That's exactly, like, it's just like there was enough hands in the pot to keep them going. It wasn't about my thoughts or opinions on the character. It was an opinion. It was about the numbers that I read. The numbers showed me that this shouldn't have had a sequel. That's what I'm saying. When I make these statements, it's not about my opinions. It's that I'm looking at numbers, and the numbers show me that these things shouldn't keep going. When you have, like when we were talking about directors that fail, there's so many directors that fail nowadays and keep getting films. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it. Like, there's too many things like that people
like
have.
Todd Phillips now. It's like people are getting another movie probably tomorrow.
It's like he's like, you know yourself. Back in like the early 90s, late 80s, if you had one bomb under your look at I talk about him all the time. Look at John Carpenter. John Carpenter. People don't realize that The Thing destroyed his career. He became an independent filmmaker. Like all the films that he put out after The Thing, he did independently. He had to do that himself. He's lucky that he had the career that he had because he made it himself. But like, he's respected as an underground artist, and he's very bitter and he's very angry at the fact that he lost all of his opportunities because The Thing destroyed his career. That happened a lot for people.
It happens all the time.
All the time.
Happens. I want to say fast, we lost Mark. Mark had a stand-up show he had to go to. I wanted to say bye to him, but he's bounced. So Mark is gone for the rest of the show.
Mark was great. I liked him.
Love having Mark, everybody. Round of applause for Mark. For I lost Mark. I'll see you soon. I would say this though too, Lexi. I know we've talked about like the marketing and the advertising though too. When it comes to numbers, like that stuff's going to go to the wayside because if you have a movie, and again, like we said, 350. It's like I know Marvel's going to spend another $100 million on this movie.
I've never heard of this. You're talking about it tonight, and I'm like a brand new Captain America. I'm like, I watch your show.
Yep. The trailer came out a long time ago.
That sounds like a weird way to go, but like at this point, your show is like a good information source to find out what these movies coming out. And I haven't even heard you guys talk about this.
I know we talked about one time when the first trailer came out, and I was like, "Oh, this does not look good." And and we knew there was problems too. Again, they reshot like I think it was like 60% of the movie, something like that, something crazy. And there was 3 big battle scenes they reshot, and they went to Atlanta and shot them again. And when that happens, you know there's problems. And this writer is going on to do other stuff for DC, and I'm like, this one already has bad problems. Why is DC picking this guy up for something? I don't get that. But, I'd be like, oh, you did Brave New World? I don't want anything to do with you, man. I've seen the inside stuff about this movie. And now that people are seeing it and it's getting the negative reviews, I'm just like, wow, this movie, nobody should touch anybody that's been involved in this movie. They shouldn't. And Giancarlo Esposito came in too last minute. They added his character. He's like one of the main villains. They added him after they're doing reshoots and put him throughout the whole movie. Like, this is problems. There's problems with writing. This is problems with budget. This is problems with everything. And this is where Marvel's been. I know GR and I will go see it though. So, all right, GR, Brave New World, you want to go see it?
Oh, hell, why
not? They need to give the fans what they want. The Alien versus Marvel film.
Oh, I want to see it. We talked about that a few weeks ago. I think that'd be awesome. And have the freaking Predators in there too. Come
Miles
on.
Morales facehugger suit. I'm here for it.
They could do it in Spider-Man 4 because Spider-Man 4 might integrate Null with all the symbiote aliens. Why not we bring in the xenomorphs too? It only makes sense. All the aliens in one movie, they all crash down on Earth and fight the Avengers. Come on, guys. Where is this movie? GR, that's not jumping the ship. Come on, GR, that's not jumping the shark, right?
No, not at all. That makes complete sense.
I want to see it. I really want to see it.
4 alien queens? Come on.
I'd be excited about that. I'm not excited about this, guys. I don't want to call it shit yet, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be good. And I want to support the art and support Marvel, and we do the Comic Corner because we support geeky stuff like this and we love it. But I'm just like, do better by the fans. Just do better. Like the Joker 2. That was more of an insult to the fans, and then because the fans wanted to see Joker become Joker. We had the lead up to it, and then you're like, oh wait, we're not gonna do that. Oh, we're gonna not give you what you want. Oh, we're gonna do a whole different movie that's not what made the first one popular. Oh, okay. And then people are gonna walk out of the theater. That's what's gonna happen. And I liked Joker. I like Joker though. I did like Joker too. I thought it was a beautiful movie. Pacing was a little bit slow for me, but I think it was a beautiful movie. And I think they could have cut easily five songs, maybe it'll work better. But then again, I think it's a waste of time when the song doesn't add to the narrative. I think it's a waste of time. It's like, why are we doing this? I know why they did it, because the first movie they had that whole moments where Arthur, you don't know what's real and what's not. That's what they're kind of play off of. Except the stakes weren't high for this. Oh, it's a song. The stakes aren't high. I didn't go shoot somebody. The stakes just aren't high. And so when it happens, I'm like, oh, this is a dumb. There we go, it's song time. The one in the courtroom was the best song though, I would say. If you see it, the courtroom one where he bashes a judge in with the freaking gavel. That one's the best one in the whole movie. Fucking great. Fucking great. But I do worry about this. Lexi, what would they do for, I know you're before we move on, I know you're big into the advertising stuff, and the whole lunchbox thing's been a big deal online where people have been targeting kids for some stuff, or it's been just shitty people on YouTube. Right. Yeah, it's been really shitty. Do you think there is a route that could use that for benefit in this situation?
As far as branding on product?
Yeah. Could you save Captain America?
I can tell you that I am susceptible to branded product. I mean, not branded necessarily to the film, but that if you make Red Hulk soda and put it out through Mountain Dew, right? Or a bunch of different flavors through Mountain Dew. So let's say you put out a bunch of Mountain Dew flavors that are exclusive to this film. I'm going to buy every one of them. And then I'm also going to know the film exists. Because I wouldn't have known the film existed if we weren't talking about it tonight. And so, that's the same thing with, Doritos. Put a bunch of Doritos out with the Mountain Dews, and then there you go. And then I know about this movie. It's this, what's that Hulk edition, whatever. Now, I would
Smash-tastic.
Some actual, flavors instead of you just putting the fucking thing on a bag and selling me some cool brand Doritos or whatever, because I'm sick of that shit. I would. Whatever happened to fun? It's the exclusive flavor for the film. That's what I want. I like exclusive. I'm really into one-off brand products, limited edition foods, limited edition products. So I'll buy it. In
a special occasion deal.
I have that stupid Coke Oreo sitting in my fridge, and I have the Oreo Coke.
Oreo Coke.
Yeah, they have Coke Oreos, and they have Coke that's flavored like an Oreo. So we have both of them, with the Oreos themselves, and they have the Coke itself. We're just making it down.
I have never heard of that.
That's the branding I am. I buy everything. When they come out with a new flavor of Coke, I try the new flavor of Coke. I buy the limited editions of all that stuff. So yeah, I'm the kind of person that will buy that stuff, and that might get me to go watch your movie, because if I like the flavor, I might be like, oh, this is good enough for me to go.
I do love Ecto Cooler. They brought that back out for Ghostbusters. That was fucking great. Ecto Cooler. It was great. I loved it so much.
I mean, and freestyle machines give you the opportunity to do a lot of branding too, because it doesn't require anything. You just like, I know not to cut you off, but like they just like put limited edition things into certain restaurants, and those machines, they just have to put like a poop in the machine. You know what I mean? It takes 2 seconds. It's not like they have to do anything, and then there's just a flavor combo in the machine that just mixes up on its own. So I know like I know for the Olympics, a lot of restaurants were doing their own mixes, and I know for like certain things like that, like Zaxby's was doing a lot of exclusive like flavors for their releases. But Zaxby's is in like the South, so like nobody knows them.
You know, it'd be great if they have like the Hulk edition of Doritos, where they actually fill the bag all the way up. With the full bag of Doritos, right, because it's Hulk size.
Exactly.
And they can make them like green and red, and they can, be, I guess, like chili pepper or something. They can make them different. You know what I mean?
They can bring the guacamole ones back that were actually like all green, and then like there you go, perfect.
Yeah. GR, would you buy that? You like that kind of product stuff or no?
Well, product placement's great. I mean, depends what it is. I mean, some of these flavors they come up with, I wouldn't force my dog to eat. But
my Uncle Marty eats all these things. There's some of them are really disgusting. And I'm like, what is this? But sometimes
I want to eat some. I want it to taste like something.
Yeah.
Can we stop making everything spicy? Spicy is not the answer either. Like, I'm so fucking tired of everything being flaming hot and spicy. Like,
flaming hot.
Flavor. Give a flavor, please. Can I get a flavor? Like ranch, something? God sake. Yeah. Anything. Flaming hot, for God's sake.
I like the spicy shit, so it's okay with me.
I don't mind a little bit. Like that new hot sauce at Taco Bell is bomb. It's so good, a dish of hot, but like, I mean, I'm not into like just burning my mouth for the sake of burning my mouth. Like, flavor, like, please.
Well, I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't need this shit. Sometimes it's too much, and I'm like, I eat 2, and I'm like, I got to throw this bag away because it's just disgusting. It's too much. So it's like now my asshole's gonna burn tomorrow. I don't need that either. So, and that's another whole problem.
Brian, I really don't need to know that.
That's all I'm saying. But this is coming. This might burn my asshole too, Brave New World. But I gotta say,
it will. It absolutely will. Burn your retinas and your asshole.
I still hope it's good, though. I still hope it's good.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the pep star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.